Hi everyone. Today I am with my friend Peter. I remember when we were making our first video together, there was one topic which we said that later in life we will discuss about it. And that topic was, as a human being, who am I? So this question, if all of us, we ask to ourselves, this will open certain doors for us and it will make us to think about certain things which might be very helpful for humanity. So I remember when you mentioned that in our first video, I found it very fascinating. Like, yeah, that would be a wonderful question to ask as a human being. Who am I? So would you like to put more light onto that?
Yes, I mean, it is, if you look at the story of meditation, and if you look for a kind of common denominator of many techniques and ways to do meditation, and if you ask the question, what is meditation about? And for me, finally, can be summarized in this one question: who am I? And there are teachings from India where the disciples are told just to ask this question to themselves. And it is very good and very nice to tell that. And maybe it's also very good and very nice to hear it. But I mean, what does it mean? In which direction does it go? And where will we arrive if we do this? And two, 3 weeks ago, I found a book from an author which was very fascinating for me in the 90s.
Yeah.
He was basically the first Indian philosophy oriented spiritual teacher I encountered. I was sitting at the TV and I was zapping around, and there was an art documentation, and then I saw this gentleman sitting there speaking, and I was totally fascinated by his presence. And his name is Andrew Cohen, was Andrew Cohen. He passed away, I think, in February this year. And I found a book which he wrote many, many years later, in the year 2011. And he gave such a beautiful description that I just want to read it, because it would be never possible for me to say it in any way, in a better and more easy way.
The way he said it, yes.
Yes, exactly.
Yes,
Andrew Cohen, with the title Evolutionary Enlightenment.
Okay.
And the chapter has the title Back to Before the Beginning. In order to find out for yourself what the timeless ideal of enlightenment is all about, the first step you need to take is a very big one. You have to be willing, at least temporarily, to let absolutely everything go.
Nice. Yeah.
You have to take an inner journey beyond everything you are and everything you know, beyond time, form, thought, and memory, all the way back to before the beginning, before anything ever happened, before the universe was born.
Beautiful.
Before the beginning, there was no time, no form, and no space. Only absolute emptiness. Before the beginning, there was nothing, but you were there. You don't have to take my word for this. You can discover the truth of it in your very own experience right now. If you are willing to take that radical step and let go of thought and feeling, time and world, self and other. You can discover the timeless internal answer to the question, who am I? the answer that liberates you from any and all sense of limitation. The journey you will take beyond time and form is the very same that the greatest realizers have taken, and the answer you will find is the very same that set them free. You will discover the source of enlightenment itself. In order to answer the question, who am I? In order to go back to before the beginning within your own experience, you have to put your attention on the deepest sense of what it feels like to be yourself right now, and simultaneously let everything else go. Letting go means falling so deeply into yourself that all that is left is empty space. To discover the infinite depth in your own self, you must find a way to enter into a deep state of meditation, so deep that your awareness of thought moves into the background and eventually disappears. As your awareness detaches itself from the thought stream, your identification with emotion and memory begins to fall away. When awareness of thought disappears, awareness of the passing of time disappears along with it. If you keep penetrating into the infinite depth of your own self, even your awareness of your own physical form will disappear. If you go deep enough, letting your attention expand and release from all objects in consciousness, you will find that all the structures of the created universe begin to crumble before your eyes. Awareness itself, limitless, empty, pristine, becomes the only object of your attention. As your attention is released from the conditioned mind process, freed from the confines of the body and the boundaries of the personal self-sense, the inner dimension of your own experience begins to open up to an immeasurable degree. Imagine that you have been fall asleep in a small dark chamber, then suddenly awaken to find yourself floating in the infinite expanse of a vast, peaceful ocean. That's what this journey to the depths of your own self feels like. You become aware of a limitless dimension that you did not even know was there. Moments before, you may have experienced yourself as being trapped, a prisoner of your body, mind, and emotions. But when you awaken to this new dimension, all sense of confinement disappears. You find yourself resting in and as boundless empty space. In that empty space, the mind is completely still. There is no time, no memory, not even a trace of personal history. And the deeper you fall into that space, the more everything will continue to fall away, until finally all that will be left is you. When you let absolutely everything go, body, mind, memory, and time, you will find miraculously that you still exist. In fact, in the end, you discover that all that exists is you.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
I loved it.
yeah,
It's so
me
nice.
too. Thanks, Mr. Cohen.
Yeah.
Really, it's a great work to,
I'm gonna make at least a picture later of those pages,
yeah,
and I'm gonna reread them.
yeah,
Many things were very fascinating, but one of the things which I felt like I would like to talk about when you were reading that to me, um, it was kind of like this. He's saying, like, before everything, what we see, what we have around us on this planet, there was nothing. And from that nothingness, we are coming out. So how I see this is like, there was a word of absolute
Mm.
in which everything exists.
Mhm.
And to exist everything, nothingness has to exist.
Yeah.
Do you think it was that?
Yes, it is that. And it is important to understand that it's basically not so that this, what is described in this chapter, is something which existed before the creation of the world started, but that is the reality which is always present. It's not something in the past. It is something which is there immediately and right now, and all the whole world, the whole everything which is experienced is created out of this emptiness. I mean, that's oldest Buddhist teaching, which says form is empty, form is void, and void is form. There is no really difference, because the void, the emptiness, creates everything. It is basically a state of non-duality, where there is only one and there is not two. And the word non-duality is taken, it's basically from India. It is from the word Advaita, which basically means not two. Yeah? It is to make clear that the life basically in its original form is really one, and to make sure that it is not one of another pair, that it is not part of a dualistic concept. Yeah, that there is one, and then there is the world. It is called not two. Yeah, because this is really this.
Not two means they are not plural, they are singular, right?
It means
two means two, not two.
It means there is just one, and
yeah.
there is no opposite. It is only just that it is pure beingness. It is pure existence, without any attitudes, without any attributes, without anything. Maybe not without attitudes, but without any attributes. The Big Bang Theory. Yeah, he refers to this physical theorem that 14 billion years ago, out of this emptiness, he describes in his book, that out of this emptiness was created something which was infinitely small, and totally compressed energy in a very, 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 very minute small point, and this exploded. Yeah, and the result of this explosion is the whole dualistic world. It's large and small and so on.
Got it. Okay.
It's really not easy to grasp this.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
This concept,
yes.
But it is the key concept of the whole Hinduistic philosophy. It is the key concept of Buddhistic.
But would you agree? It's very simple as well at the same time.
Absolutely,
it's very simple.
Yeah,
but it's not easy to understand or to grasp on.
Right? Yes, exactly. You know, the problem is if one tries to understand it with a mind which is trained to function in a dualistic world and to understand dualistic concepts. And this mind is not constructed to grasp something which is non-dualistic. So it is the only way to understand it is just to let go of everything.
Mm. But I'm thinking about this, that when we say to humanity, for example, that if you would like to lead your life towards peace, happiness, and the calm, what I think in the end we all are looking for happiness in
Yes,
everything.
absolutely.
So to find that path, you need to give yourself some time. It can be 5 to 10 minutes every day is really good, or
Yeah,
at least 4 to 5 days a week. And you question this, that who am I,
yeah.
for example.
Hmm.
Uh, but do you agree that everybody can get different answer for that, right?
You know, the
How
funny,
we will make people, it cannot be the same answer, right?
yeah.
And that's fine.
You know, in Indian philosophy,
Yes.
there is a concept which is in the Indian language, is it says neti neti. It means not this, not that.
Hmm.
Basically, the process is, if someone asks himself, who am I? And then he gets answers.
Hmm.
Yeah, there is an answer. Who am I? I am Mr. Miller.
Okay. Yeah.
And then it's neti neti means not that. The next is I am my body, not that. I am my brain, not that. I am my memories, not that. I am my history, not that. I am a father, not that. I am an engineer, not that. I am a very sage man, not that. I am a total idiot, not that. Yeah, it is just because this there is basically the final answer to this question is the experience of oneself as something which is not identified with anything, not with anything, not with time, not with energy.
Got it. Okay. So when somebody is sitting and asking this question, one thing that person can be aware of is that it should not come with some kind of what's that called, like um, any tag with it, like you are a doctor, you are a father, you are a brother, or etc etc etc. From all these titles, you have to bring your brain above, or you have to bring yourself above, and then you will start getting the real answer.
Yes, exactly.
Because mostly we are very caught up with the titles, of course.
Yeah.
I'm mother, I'm father, I'm a lover, or etc etc. Or I like that you mentioned that something negative as well. There are a lot of people who associate themselves with very negative
Totally.
word titles, like
Yeah.
I'm not good enough, or I'm not intelligent enough, I'm not beautiful enough.
Can
So
be
come out
everything.
from all those titles,
Yeah.
and then start thinking about who am I. And there's a chance that you will find the peace and happiness, and at least the road, or maybe the road towards
It can
happiness.
be. I mean, it is definitely, for sure. It is not the only road, but it is the traditional.
Yes.
It is the traditional way. Yeah. And basically, for this questions, for the question, who am I? You basically can say for every answer which is coming up as a concept, you can say everything I know is false. Because every answer, also if the answer is the concept I am God, or I am the absolute, or I am the absolute emptiness, or I am all the things which Mr. Cohen describes, and if I have it as a concept, it's not really true, because he did not describe the experience of a concept. He describes the concept of a total spirit. He describes the experience of a total spiritual liberation from everything, and freedom. I mean, what does freedom mean? Freedom means the absence of barriers.
a lot of us are very afraid as well, deep down, of liberation.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Absolutely.
We
It
should
is
talk about this too in the next video, maybe.
okay. Yeah. Okay.
Because I think, because when I was listening to you, I was thinking about, yes, most probably many people will reach until there that, okay, I am gonna find my own liberation.
Mhm.
But then fear comes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Then
Yes.
it's like, okay, what's then? If you are free of all the concepts, if you are
Mhm.
free of all the titles,
Mhm.
then that seems very unfamiliar and very fearful
Yeah.
feeling, right?
Yeah.
It was really nice, as usual, talking to you, sitting down with you, and I hope all of you also enjoyed. So until next time, bye bye.
Bye bye.